And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Maury County Middle School Championship game. Wow, I just saw it. Welcome to the Maury County Middle School Championship game featuring the Mount Pleasant Tigers undefeated against the Whitthorne Middle School Tigers. Whitthorne sporting one loss, and that one loss came to Mount Pleasant just a couple of weeks ago, 28-16. So this is the championship game for the Maury County Middle School football. With me is Drake Colley.
Good evening, Barry. Good evening, folks.
Thank you. And our engineer is P. Money.
P. Money is handling our video streaming. So if you folks out there want to get in on the video streaming, you can.
Exactly. Beautiful night for the middle school championship game here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. The fans are slowly piling in. It should be an excellent game. Of course, as I mentioned, just a couple of weeks ago, it was Mount Pleasant defeating Whitthorne. Both teams were undefeated at the time, 28-16.
Yeah, and as we're going to play the national anthem, let's take a little break while we're playing the national anthem.
The Whitthorne Middle School Band playing our national anthem as we're just about ready to get underway here this evening here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, Maury County Park, as the Columbia Whitthorne Tigers take on the Mount Pleasant Tigers. Tigers versus Tigers tonight.
Yeah, Barry, we had Coach Dickinson, head coach of the Whitthorne Tigers, on the game day show just a little while ago. And he made one mention that kind of perked one statement that kind of perked up. He said, you know, in 35 years of being around Whitthorne and Central High School, he said he'd never been in the visitors' locker room ever.
Oh, is that right?
And so what I mean by that is I want people to understand that the Mount Pleasant Tigers are considered the home team. And the Whitthorne Middle School, even though they're not even a quarter mile, their school is not a quarter mile from Lindsey Nelson Stadium, Jim Cartwright Field, they're the away team. And I don't think that sat too well with Coach Dickinson to be in the visitors' locker room.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I know when I came in, I noticed the Mount Pleasant fans sitting on normally the Whitthorne home side and the Whitthorne band across the way.
That's right.
And I had to figure out, hey, Mount Pleasant is the home team.
They're right below. They're right below the Marion Wilhoit press box, sitting as we're overlooking the 50-yard line here in the field. And so if you hear a roar or a cheer, normally you would think, well, Whitthorne did something great. But probably our microphone is going to pick up the Mount Pleasant fans, being that, and they brought quite a crowd tonight. I would say
yes,
a couple
did.
of hundred people are down below us.
At least.
And you'll hear a roar, and that's probably going to be for the Mount Pleasant fans.
And, of course, just a couple of weeks ago in Mount Pleasant, and it was a near-capacity crowd, especially on the Mount Pleasant side at Mount Pleasant just a couple of weeks ago. And Mount Pleasant Tigers win that game 28-16 over Whitthorne. So Whitthorne's looking for some sort of revenge. Of course, Whitthorne is the defending champion of the Maury County Middle School football teams.
Right, and both teams were undefeated 2 weeks ago going into that game at Mount Pleasant, which Mount Pleasant came out a winner. But what I was most impressed with, Barry, was the defense of the first 3 quarters of that ball game. Now, they gave up some points late in that ball game, but the first 3 quarters against Whitthorne, the defense for the Mount Pleasant Tigers was just suffocating. Whitthorne could not figure it out. And so hopefully for Coach Dickinson's side tonight, he's got that figured out. And on the other side, Coach Pickett hopes that they play just as well on defensively as they did 2 weeks ago for Mount Pleasant.
Whitthorne will be kicking off first to the Mount Pleasant Tigers, and back deep is that man, and he's dangerous, and that's Deonta Webster. Webster ran rampant against Whitthorne just a couple of weeks ago, and Whitthorne didn't have an answer for him until late. Well, didn't really have an answer for him, and Webster is a very dangerous young man with the football.
Well, Webster, number 3, you'll be hearing us call his name a lot tonight, and he's back to receive the kickoff from the Whitthorne Tigers. And another name we'll be calling tonight is number 19 there, Mount Pleasant's big, tall quarterback. He'll be mentioned quite a bit tonight. So between those 2 players from Mount Pleasant, I think those are the 2 players that Coach Dickinson and his staff, after probably watching the films of their loss 2 weeks ago, they figured out they're going to have to put a hat on him and get those 2 players to the ground.
That number 19 is Ja'Kai Amos, tall, rangy quarterback, excellent athlete, and should be a very interesting game. If Whitthorne can control Deonta Webster, would be advantageous for them in this football game. The kicking game is hard to beat. Jaden White, outstanding young kicker for the Whitthorne Tigers. He'll be kicking off to Mount Pleasant.
And White, number 11, the kicker for Whitthorne, could be the difference in tonight's game, Barry.
The kicking game could be a difference. Could be the difference in a close game. Yeah. Outstanding kicker. He had, a 40-something yard field goal one time this year at one time.
I think 43-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. And for a 7th or 8th grader, it's pretty darn far.
Not bad at all. Jaden White set to kick off to Mount Pleasant. Short end-over-end kick taken by Amos. Amos at the 27. Fights his way, turns the corner to the 30, to the 35. Fights his way to midfield, to the 40, still running, and finally knocked out of bounds and knocked down at the Whitthorne 33-yard line. So I don't think Whitthorne was prepared for that. Amos got the kick. It was a high, short end-over-end kick, and Amos took it down the field.
I think, and just from Jaden White's body language, right after he kicked that ball, he knew that he got too far underneath. It's kind of, for all you golfers out there in a golf metaphor, it's kind of when you hit a ball fat and you just kind of throw it up in the air and it doesn't get any distance on it. That's kind of the way his kick was.
So Mount Pleasant with a good field position at the Columbia 32-yard line, 1st and 10. They send 4 receivers wide to the left side. Amos single back in the backfield. Gets the snap, is high, fumbles the football. Whistle is blown. They blow it dead. I'm not sure why they blew it dead. High snap. Illegal procedure.
False start on Mount Pleasant.
Against Mount Pleasant.
Fortunate for Mount Pleasant that was the case, because Ja'Kai Amos had a high snap, mishandled the ball, dropped the ball on the ground, fell to the side, and there were 3 white jerseys for Whitthorne Middle School to pick up that ball and do really whatever they wanted to with it.
Exactly.
Like run for a touchdown.
And very least, recover it. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, at the very least, recover the ball, but it probably could have no whistle there. They'd probably be in the end zone right now.
They blew it dead. 5-yard penalty. Ball back at the 37. Whistle blows again. Stops action.
Looks like a delay of game. Yeah.
Delay of game against Mount Pleasant. They started this drive at the Columbia 32. Now they're back to the 42-yard line.
So we got some championship game jitters we have to get out of the way, Barry. It's
Now they changed the offense. Webster's in the backfield. Webster with a shot with the Wildcat, hit in the backfield and slung down for little or no gain on the play.
Number 7, Jason Guzman on the tackle right there.
Looks like Whitthorne is doing a better job with their defensive line, putting pressure on the Mount Pleasant offense.
Well, I guarantee you they are on strict marching orders when it comes to number 3 getting that direct snap in the backfield. And he's back at it again.
In the middle of the line for Whitthorne is Tyshawn Dotson. Handoff Webster. Webster got some running room and knocked down just across the 40-yard line. Short gain on the play.
Tackle made by Khalil Hardison, number 6.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and very long.
Now Hardison just reached out and grabbed him around his ankles.
And something they didn't do when they played Mount Pleasant in Mount Pleasant just a couple of weeks ago. Deontay Webster ran wild against the Tigers, against Whitthorne. It's going to be kind of hard saying the Tigers because both teams are the Tigers, but the Whitthorne Tigers.
Yeah, so it's 3rd down and 18, and like you said, Barry, there weren't a lot of these plays facing Mount Pleasant 2 weeks ago.
Man in motion, hand off to him, hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, and didn't break the second tackle and knocked down. And making that tackle for Whitthorne is Jason Guzman.
Yeah.
Jason Guzman makes the hit for the Whitthorne Tigers.
2 terrific plays on this drive by the Whitthorne Middle School, and number 7, Jason Guzman.
Did a good job blowing up that play.
Yeah, 2nd tackle for loss on this drive.
Whitthorne, purple helmets, white tops and bottoms, and purple numerals trimmed in gold. Mount Pleasant, white helmets, most of them. Red jerseys and white pants. Looking at a 4th down and 20. And Mount Pleasant wants a timeout. There's timeout on the field with the score. Whitthorne nothing, Mount Pleasant nothing. Back right after this timeout.
Office space available in beautiful downtown Columbia. Kennedy Broadcasting Company, WKRM, and WKOM has 3 offices for rent in its downtown building. Each office is approximately 18 by 18, and each includes a closet-type storage area. Included are utilities, Wi-Fi, and communal break area. Contact Station Manager Clayton Harris at 931-626-3131.
Welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, scoreless ball game. Mount Pleasant had the football first, had it at the Columbia 32-yard line, and gave a lot of ground, and now it's 4th down and 20 at the Columbia 44-yard line. And Mount Pleasant going for it. 4 receivers packed to the left side. Quarterback single back in the backfield, gets the snap. Screen pass to Webster, throws it out of bounds.
And that's going to go out, should be marked at the 50-yard line.
Goes out at the 50. And they turn it over on downs. They're going to put it back at the original line of scrimmage, I believe.
I think
there's a lateral. I
don't know why they called that a forward pass. That was absolutely a lateral pass or backwards pass out of bounds. So well, okay.
You would know.
Here we go. We're going to turn. It's a turnover no matter what. The ball's turned over to Whitthorne Middle at their own 44.
Whitthorne with the football at their own 44-yard line. Quarterback is Parker. Hands off to the back. Hit at the line of scrimmage and might have lost a yard. Gave it off to Khalil Hardison. Hardison hit in the backfield and at the most got back to the line of scrimmage. So I had to give him a little gain on the play.
And I think what people should expect tonight are 2 good, sound, fundamentally sound defensive football teams.
5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter in the scoreless ball game. Whitthorne with their first offensive opportunity of the evening. In the backfield is Hardison and Dotson. Hand off to the back. Hardison fights his way across the 45 near the 50. Near the midfield stripe. Got to mark him at the 49. 3rd down for Whitthorne.
Simple. Off tackle right. Handoff to Hardison right there. He kind of ran into a little traffic jam at the line of scrimmage. Cut back to his left. Picked up about 4 yards.
Going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 for the Whitthorne Tigers. Parker's your quarterback. Parker hands off Hardison, trying to get around the right side. Breaks one tackle, gives ground, and is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 4th down for the Tigers of Whitthorne. Big tackle that time for the Mount Pleasant Tigers, denying Whitthorne the 1st down. Spot him at the 45. Going to bring up 4th down and 9 for Whitthorne. And Whitthorne's going for it. No, they got a punt. They got a punt.
Yep. You've got a weapon like Jaden White. You need to use it in a nothing ball game. So
White gets a snap, kick high, relatively short kick. Takes a Whitthorne roll, goes out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. So it turned out to be a pretty good kick for Whitthorne.
Yeah, you got a nice roll on that, Barry.
Had to be impressed with the Whitthorne Tigers defense.
Yeah, so far
in that first series, considering how they gashed the Whitthorne Tigers in Mount Pleasant a couple of weeks ago.
And I would bet my last dollar that Coach Dickinson and his staff reiterated the fact to his players of how Deontay Webster and Ja'Kai Amos pretty much ran up and down the field on Whitthorne in Mount Pleasant 2 weeks ago in the Whitthorne loss. So that's probably why we're seeing much better tackling and defensive play.
They mark the ball at the 21 of Mount Pleasant. Amos rolls out, quarterback with snap, rolls out to the right side and is knocked down by Whitthorne, making that big defensive play for the Tigers.
Looks like Khalil Hardison. Trey Johnson, got in on that.
Trey Johnson with a hit for the Whitthorne Tigers.
And Barry, I tell you what, you can already see what we did not see 2 weeks ago in the Whitthorne loss is Whitthorne wrapping them up. Even if they get them around the ankles, they're not letting go. They're waiting for the cavalry to get there, and I mean the rest of his teammates. And that's why Mount Pleasant does not have any early success in the rushing game.
Loss of 5, handoff Webster. Webster hit. Drives his way close to the 20-yard line. Pickup of a couple. And Whitthorne making the big hit for the Tigers. Trevante Johnson.
Yeah, Trevante. Webster looked like he kind of wanted to just run right over number 3. Now, I see Trey Johnson holding his left hamstring. Hope he's okay. Hate to see him come out of the ball game right now. He's been over, but he's remaining in the game, so I'm assuming he's all right. He's not looking to the sidelines.
Brings up 3rd down and 11. Big play here for the Tigers. Whistle blows. Action is stopped. Like delay of game again.
You know, the illegal substitution on Mount Pleasant. I guess they had too many men in the huddle.
Going to cost him 5 more yards. Going to make it 3rd down 16 for Mount Pleasant.
5-yard penalty.
Whitthorne Tigers coached by veteran coach James Dickinson. The Mount Pleasant Tigers coached by Corey Pickett. Both teams well coached football teams.
Absolutely they are.
3rd down 16. 2 minutes left in the first quarter in the scoreless ball game. Mount Pleasant back at their own 14. Quarterback rolls out to the left side. Pass, got a man open, makes the catch.
Oh!
And loses the ball, and Whitthorne comes up with it. Whitthorne comes up with it, and it's Whitthorne's football. What a great defensive play by the Tigers. Coming out of there with it for the Whitthorne Tigers is none other than Jaden Hughes.
Yeah,
Hughes got beat on the play, wrapped the Mount Pleasant player up, and wound up taking the ball out of his hands before he hit the ground. Great play that time by Whitthorne's Jaden Hughes. Whitthorne's football back at the Mount Pleasant 45-yard line.
Yeah, the wide receiver for Mount Pleasant is bolted down the right side, over the top pass, caught it, tried to maintain control, had the ball on his hip, and Hughes just reached out there and snatched it off his hip.
Got it on the way down. Columbia with the pass. Quarterback gets it to the wide receiver, get it to Jason Guzman. Great pass that time by Jackson Parker. Parker makes the pass play. Picks up significant amount of yardage. Look like about 8 yards, and it is. 2nd down and 2 for the Whitthorne Tigers. Great pass that time. The receiver turned around late, but made a great catch and a great throw by the quarterback and a great catch.
Jason Guzman having a terrific first quarter.
Second down, 2.
Both sides of the ball.
Hand off to the big back, Tyshawn Dotson. Dotson drags the Powell across the 35 up to about the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Whitthorne Tigers. Dotson is a load.
I tell you what, folks, if you haven't seen number 0 in a uniform and a helmet, you're missing this, because he is a man playing a boy's game. That's the only way I know how to describe it.
The young man has an NFL body right now. And we're talking about Tyshawn Dotson for the Whitthorne Tigers. 1st and 10, Columbia, Whitthorne.
He has an older brother that plays in the NFL.
Exactly. High snap. Parker gets it back, falls on it, and rolls over. And Mount Pleasant comes up with it. High snap, took a bad hop. And the Mount Pleasant Tigers recovered. Big play for Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant comes up with a recovery.
Luke Mobbs from Mount Pleasant was the Johnny on the spot there, as it was just a bad high snap from the center that went over the quarterback's head, and he could not maintain control of it and fall on it, but Mount Pleasant did.
He tried to dive on it, but Mount Pleasant player got it. So Mount Pleasant with good field position. Ball at the 46-yard line of Mount Pleasant, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the left side. Whistle blows, kills the play. Illegal procedure, Mount Pleasant. Going to cost them 5 yards. And they walk it off against the Tigers of Mount Pleasant. Ball back at the 42-yard line.
Mount Pleasant keeps shooting themselves in the foot, Barry. I mean, it's tough enough to get 10 yards against this Whitthorne defense, much less 15.
1st and 15. Pass down the field. Caught. What a throw. What a catch. Amos with the throw, with the catch. Mount Pleasant's Dakari. Check that. With the catch is DeMontez Gilbert.
Yes.
Gilbert with the catch.
Terrific catch.
And Ja'Kai Amos with the throw. The Columbia defender turned the wrong way at the wrong time, and a great completion that time, Mount Pleasant, for the 1st down. The ball spotted at the 36-yard line of Whitthorne. 1st and 10. That really got them out of a hole and really gave them some momentum.
It absolutely did.
Amos, your quarterback for Mount Pleasant. Amos, pitch. Webster, right side, trying to turn the corner. Falls down. Pickup of a yard on the play. And that's the end of the 1st quarter. 1st quarter is history. And the score, Whitthorne, nothing. Mount Pleasant, nothing. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
And I'm Michael Parks Lawrence at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
Together, we're Mr. Bobby Parks' grandsons, and we run his dealership, and we are glad to be part of our local community.
Being family owned and operated, we invest heavily in our community.
We do things like sports teams, schools, bands, you name it. We try to help everybody we can.
The reason why we do this is because we all love this community.
So come do business with us, your neighbors, at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee, right off Nashville Highway, or at parksmotorsales.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Chumley, owner of Expert Landscaping, LLC. Located in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee, Expert Landscaping specializes in consulting and design for all your outdoor needs, as well as installations for landscaping, pools, patios, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, irrigation, and lighting. Call us today at 931-374-1772. Expert Landscaping, where quality work is an investment in the future.
Back at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, the Murray County Middle School Championship game between the Whitthorne Tigers and the Tigers of Mount Pleasant. Scoreless ball game in the 1st quarter. Mount Pleasant will have the ball, looking at 2nd down 10. Ball spotted at the Whitthorne 36-yard line. A lot of good athletes here. They're going to play some a lot of good football for the high school when their time comes.
Oh, I'm sure there's a high school football coach or one or two in the stands tonight.
Amos hands out Webster. Webster hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, trying to get to the corner. He does. He's at the 30, at the 25, and falls forward and knocked down at about the 24-yard line. DeMonte Amos, check that, DeMonte Webster, and a big first down that time for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
Tackle made by Aiden Pinotti, number 5, along with a couple other Whitthorne Tigers in there. It takes more than one to pull down number 3 from Mount Pleasant, Barry.
Yeah, he's kind of got the moves of a running back we saw at Tullahoma when Columbia played Tullahoma. I'm not going to quite give him the Ryan, the wide receiver for Alabama. I'm not going to give him those.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's a special young athlete right there. What's his last name? Ryan Williams. He had some moves that hadn't been invented yet.
And really what's kind of crazy about it, he's only 3 or 4 years older than these kids playing out here right now.
Yeah, he's just 17 years old.
That's kind of hard to understand and wrap your head around. But Mount Pleasant knocking on the door right here, Barry.
Pickup of a yard, looking at second down 9 for the Tigers back at the Whitthorne 23. Snap to the back, turns the corner, breaks a tackle at the 15 and knocked down at the 15-yard line. Tackle that time by Austin Taylor, along with Whitthorne's Zach Russell.
Yeah, Taylor and Russell had to combine to pull the Mount Pleasant running back down, number 21.
Pickup of 8 brings up third down 1. Mount Pleasant looks like they've got the offensive momentum going for them right now. Webster wide to the left side for the Tigers. Amos with the snap, quarterback keeper, hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, fights his way close to the 10-yard line on the quarterback keeper. Got the first down and more. Ball spotted at the 11-yard line. First and 10 at the Whitthorne 11-yard line.
The Mount Pleasant can work this ball down and get another first down just within the 1-yard line if they have to here.
Amos is your quarterback. Hand off Webster. Webster steps across the line and is hit and knocked down on the play by Whitthorne's Trevante Johnson. Short gain on the play. Going to bring up second down.
Was Zakai Amos, number 19 from Mount Pleasant. He's just a tall, rangy, lanky quarterback that can see, he's tall enough to see over his offensive lineman and the defensive lineman, look downfield, and is in total command of this offense.
And he's going to be special on the next level. This goes to Webster, turns around the left side, breaks a tackle, and goes out of bounds. Almost took it to the house, got forced out of bounds on the play. Going to bring up third down.
Yeah, that play was a direct snap, as we've already seen, to Webster. And the quarterback, Zakai Amos, actually lined up on the far left side at the wide receiver position.
They spot the ball at the 4-yard line. They can get a first down at the 1. Hand up to the big back. Fighting, and didn't quite get there.
Jason Guzman on the tackle again.
Going to bring up fourth down and 2 at the 3-yard line. So Whitthorne digs in and see what their goal line stand is looking like tonight.
Now Mount Pleasant, like I said, can make a first down just inside the 1-yard line here.
They got Caleb Hirth in at fullback. He had the last carry. So they got like a full house backfield trying to punch it in.
And 2 weeks ago, Barry, we did not see Mount Pleasant try any type of kicking extra points or field goals. So it looks like they'll forego any type of kicking situation and just go on and try to score the touchdown.
4 minutes and 21 seconds remain in the first half in a scoreless ball game. The Mount Pleasant Tigers knocking on the door as they have 4th down and 2 from the 3. They could get a first and goal from the 1. But it's 4th down and 2 for Mount Pleasant at the 3-yard line. So this is a big play for the Whitthorne Tigers defense. I noticed that Mount Pleasant had the full house backfield earlier and running Hurth at fullback, who is normally a lineman.
Well, I definitely think that one of the keys to Mount Pleasant's rushing attack is A, Deontay Webster, B, Zakai Amos, and then C, a little bit of a misdirection type offense. Do you see what I mean?
Exactly.
I know that they brought Mobbs around from the who set up on the right side at wide receiver position, and he came kind of on a jet sweep to the left earlier on this drive. So
Mount Pleasant has Luke Mobbs in the backfield, also a handoff Webster. Webster trying to turn the corner, hit, fights, and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. The Whitthorne Tigers, the Mount Pleasant Tigers. Deontay Webster fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown for the Mount Pleasant Tigers. Webster with the score. Just powered it over left guard and punches it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, a determined, solid drive by the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And they're going to go for 2. Quarterback rolls, walks into the end zone unimpeded for the 2-point conversion. And that is Zakai Amos. And the score with 4:18 remaining in the first half, Mount Pleasant Tigers 8, Whitthorne Tigers nothing. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Chris Chumley, owner of Expert Landscaping, LLC. Located in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee, Expert Landscaping specializes in consulting and design for all your outdoor needs, as well as installations for landscaping, pools, patios, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, irrigation, and lighting. Call us today at 931-374-1772. Expert Landscaping, where quality work is an investment in the future.
Welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley. Mount Pleasant Tigers gets on the scoreboard first as they lead Whitthorne 8-0 on a 3-yard run that time by Webster, and the 2-point conversion run in by the quarterback, Zakai Amos.
And I want to say that drive, Barry, took up half of the second quarter. I mean, the Whitthorne Tigers pretty much didn't touch the ball. Is this the first? Correct me if I'm wrong. This might be the first time their offense will touch the ball in the second quarter.
And you may be right. I believe you're right.
I don't think they. And that's how you win ball games. That's football 101, folks.
Mount Pleasant set to kick off to the Whitthorne Tigers. Tigers up close. They're expecting an onside kick, it looks like. As Mount Pleasant's Luke Mobbs with the onside kick, taken by Columbia. The up back comes up with it for Will Goodman. The up back for the Whitthorne Tigers comes up with the short kick, the onside kick.
So what you thinking? What's your train of thought on that, Barry? Why would Mount Pleasant just kick the onside kick after scoring a touchdown and give their opponent the ball at 50-yard line? Why would you do that?
Looks like they have respect for the Whitthorne Tiger kick returner.
And worried maybe a little bit about their kicking team, tackling him, kind of a combination of both, would you say?
I would say.
Or maybe they don't have a kicker that can kick the ball deep enough, so they figured they'd.
Ball at midfield, handoff Dotson. Dotson hit at the line of scrimmage, powers his way forward for 5.
What a run.
Tyshawn Dotson hit the line of scrimmage, got stopped, and then moves the pile for 5 yards. Second down 5 for Whitthorne. Tyshawn Dotson with the carry. They don't have the height and the weights on the rosters, but what do you think he weighs?
Oh, I would say Tyshawn Dotson weighs every bit of 225.
I think they might have him listed.
More than that, you think?
Last year they were listing him a lot higher than that, but I'm not sure. Parker, Jackson Parker with it, back to pass, under pressure, going to be sacked at the line of scrimmage. Parker back in the pocket to pass, looking downfield, couldn't find anybody, and is sacked by Mount Pleasant.
Well, that time he took the snap, took a couple of steps back, dropped back, and he didn't look comfortable just then. You know what I mean? He just looked, he had a little bit of a happy feet. He just didn't look comfortable in the pocket.
Too many red jerseys.
I would assume that's the reason.
Yeah,
Yes.
too many red jerseys. 2 minutes, 55 seconds remain in the first half. Mount Pleasant leading Whitthorne 8-0. Whitthorne with the football back at midfield, second down 10. Dotson in motion, rolls the right side, turns the corner. Dotson still running. Dotson fighting for the first down. It is hammered out of bounds. And let's see what they mark him. Did he get close to the first down? Tyshawn Dotson.
He got it. He absolutely got it.
Dotson needed 10, and he got 10. Tyshawn Dotson.
Yeah, that was just a simple student body left, and it's Tyshawn Dotson lined up in the backfield. And the quarterback took the ball for Whitthorne, tossed it to number 0, and off he rumbles down the left sideline for a Tiger first down.
Needed 10, got 10. First and 10 for Whitthorne. Full house backfield. Hand off to the back, trying to turn the right side, trying to turn the corner. And he doesn't. He met a whole host of Mount Pleasant Tigers. Carrying the football that time was Khalil Hardison. Hardison gets up slowly. Sakai Amos and a whole bunch.
And number 22, DeMontes Gilbert, in my opinion, was the primary tackler on that situation, and he was aggressive coming across the line of scrimmage, and Whitthorne runner lost 3 yards on that carry.
Going to bring up third down 13 for Whitthorne. Parker, your quarterback, play action. Gets the pass to the wide receiver to the left side. Battling, he's at the 30,
Guzman.
the 20, the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Did he get it?
Got it.
Touchdown, Whitthorne. Got it to Guzman, Jason Guzman. And Guzman rambles for the 43 yards for the touchdown.
What a terrific play call by Coach Dickinson and his team. As it looked like the initial play was coming to the right a little bit, and the quarterback just took a step back, turned back to his left, fired it over the defensive end's head for Mount Pleasant, and off Guzman ran down the field.
Jason Parker with the pass to Guzman, and Guzman takes it home for the touchdown. Now Whitthorne will be kicking the extra point. Now they're going to go for 2.
Well, yeah, normally you'd send Jaden White out for this, but I tell you what, it's 8-6 in favor of the Mount Pleasant Tigers. So
Parker pass intercepted.
gotta get it.
Intercepted by Mount Pleasant. So the score with a minute 33 remaining in the first half. It's Mount Pleasant 8, Whitthorne 6. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Do you want to be a bad man? Yes, you do. Do you want to taste sweet salvation underneath the summer moon? Do you need another hand now? Yes, you do. Go see Miss Josie down on Columbus Avenue. All right, Columbus Avenue.
8-6 is the score. Mount Pleasant Tigers on top. This is the Murray County Middle School Championship game. Once again, 2 weeks ago, it was pretty much all Mount Pleasant. Whitthorne made a big comeback in the fourth quarter, but 28-16 was the final score.
Through 3 quarters, Barry, it was all Mount Pleasant. Absolutely it was.
8-6 is the score.
And folks, do not go anywhere. I promise you this game is going down to the horn in the fourth quarter.
Great pass play between Jackson Parker and Jason Guzman for the 43-yard pass play for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was intercepted, so we're at 8-6. White kicks off to Mount Pleasant, drives them all the way back, and ball is dead. Now he picks it up hands it off to the back, and he's off to the races. Only the kicker can stop him, and he whips him, and he's off to the races. That's Webster for a 91-yard touchdown run. Deontay Webster. That was an odd play.
Oh, very odd, very unorthodox play for a kickoff play. It looked as though initially, once the ball was kicked to about the 10-yard line of Mount Pleasant, that the initial receiver for Mount Pleasant receiving the kickoff didn't really want to touch the ball.
He didn't.
It looked like he was just going to down it right there, and then he picked the ball up and handed it off to number 3, Deontay Webster, and Webster just bolted down the right sideline for a 90-yard touchdown. Craziest kickoff play I think I've seen in quite some time.
A long time. Minute 23 left in the first half. Mount Pleasant scores. Now they're going for the 2-point conversion. Quarterback rambles into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And that's Ja'Kai Amos. Takes it in for the 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, it's Mount Pleasant 16, Whitthorne 6. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Matt Perales, manager of Murray County Equipment. We help you with all your agriculture and construction equipment needs. We carry a full line of New Holland tractors from compacts to high horsepower. We have a full line of gravely mowing equipment. We also have New Holland construction equipment, attachments, and accessories for your tractors and a complete parts department. We are locally owned and operated. Come see us at 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard or learn about us on Facebook or contact us at 931-490-8183.
I'm backing up.
Back at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley with a minute 23 left in the first half. And Whitthorne Mount Pleasant leading 16-6 over Whitthorne.
And just a couple of questions we had, and it might not make any difference on the kickoff. Are you allowed, can the receiver pick the ball up off the ground and then
forward handoff?
Give a forward handoff to a teammate, just as Mount Pleasant did? I'm not saying it's against the rules. I don't know.
It froze the Whitthorne players. They froze him. They thought it was dead, and next thing you know, he's rambling for 6. About 90 yards for the touchdown. Onside kick recovered by the Tigers. Will Goodman. Goodman with the good hands up front. That's his second.
That's his second time.
Yeah, Will Goodman.
You know what I'd probably tell them? Look, Will, they kick it to you again. Just catch it and run and start and head towards your end zone. I don't see why not.
Exactly.
If you secure the ball, run with it.
Ball spotted at the Whitthorne 49-yard line, 1st and 10 with a minute 22 remaining in the first half of play. Full house backfield, Whitthorne. Parker in the pocket is knocked down for a big loss on the play.
Yeah, they're going to have to slow down that Mount Pleasant rush somehow.
Big time.
Whether you throw some little screen in the flat or a little middle screen, you're going to have to slow down that rush by the type of offensive play you call.
Loss of 7 on the play. Whitthorne Tigers going the wrong way. 2nd down, 17. Ball spotted back at the Whitthorne 42-yard line. Twin receivers to the left side, tight end to the right for Whitthorne. Handoff Dotson. Dotson trying to turn the corner. He does. Dotson at the 45, the 50, and slung out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nice run by Dotson.
And I want to see the player that can sling Dotson out of bounds like the what's that train's number? Dotson is a very strong and big young man. He was slung out of bounds by Mount Pleasant didn't get that number,
Then
but he slung Dotson out of bounds. And if you can sling Dotson out of bounds, you're pretty strong.
you got that right.
Football spotted at the 44-yard line. 3rd down and 5. Big run that time by Tyshawn Dotson. 12-yard run by Dotson.
I think they're discussing where the ball is supposedly going to be marked here. Well, the yard marker has first down still on it.
Yes, it does. And the official comes over to
but
correct that.
we know it's got to be at least 2nd down. Okay.
And it is 2nd down
it is,
and
it was first,
4.
And it could be 3rd down.
Mount Pleasant fans said it's
third
third down. And
remember, they had the penalty and then the sack.
Exactly. 3rd down and 4 for Whitthorne. An official timeout now. Whitthorne calls the timeout. There's timeout on the field with 32 seconds left in the first half. With the score, it's Mount Pleasant 16, Whitthorne 6. We'll be back right after this.
This is Hal Landers, owner of Landers Insurance Agency. We are an independent agency representing the famous Erie Insurance Group. Landers Insurance Agency has been committed to providing great rates and great service since 2002. Whether it's home and auto or business or life insurance, we've got you covered. 24/7 in-house claim service, we've got that too. Visit Landers Insurance at 514 North Garden Street, Columbia. Call us at 931-380-2003. Our website is landersinsuranceagency.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
32 seconds remain in the first half of play. Mount Pleasant in the driver's seat, leading 16-6 in the Maury County Middle School Championship game.
Big down, big play for Whitthorne right here.
Jackson Parker is your quarterback. Parker back in the pocket to pass. Screen pass. Gets it off to Guzman. Guzman fights his way out of bounds, short of the first down marker. 4th down with 20 seconds left. Got about. Whitthorne calls another timeout. We'll keep it right here. 20 seconds remain in the first half of play. Whitthorne driving.
You know, I'm calling number 0's number, Barry. I'm calling number 0's number right off the bat, and
try to give him a play that he can. If they jam him up inside, he can't use his strength. But once he gets outside, nobody wants to tackle him.
Yeah, and
except the guy that threw him out of bounds while ago.
Now it's showing one timeout left for Whitthorne with 20 seconds left. You're at your. You need one. It's 4th down and 1. You need a yard. You need to get to basically the 40-yard line of Mount Pleasant. I just run that toss sweep to number 0. Let him get the first down, and after he does get out of bounds, or keep running. You know, either they knock you out of bounds, or you score a touchdown. But the main thing is right here, you got to get this yard, get this first down with only 20 seconds left.
4th and 1. Ball at the Mount Pleasant 45-yard line. Actually, 43-yard line. Quarterback sneak gets the first down. The clock is running.
The Whitthorne Tiger tush push is what that was.
And they rewind the clock. 15 seconds left. Ball at the 38. Last play of the first half. Parker back to pass. Almost intercepted by Mount Pleasant. Almost coming up with that interception for the Tigers. Landon Everly. Everly almost had the interception.
I think I'd run a post. I think I'd run a post right here, Barry. Just straight down the seam of the field, loft the ball up over the top.
2nd down 10 with 4 seconds left. Maybe the hook and ladder or something.
Absolutely.
But 4 seconds left. Last play of the first half. Mount Pleasant on top, 16-6. 4 seconds left. Whitthorne, 2nd and 10 from the 38.
Tyshawn Dotson is lining up on the right side here along with 2 other wide receivers. Guzman.
Whistle blows. Action is stopped. timeout.
Whitthorne.
Whitthorne calls the timeout with 4 seconds left. Looking at second down 10 from the Mount Pleasant 38-yard line. So it will be big for the Tigers to get on the scoreboard right before halftime, because momentum has jumped on the side of the Mount Pleasant Tigers, and Tigers leading right now 16-6. 4 seconds left in the first half of play. So what play would you call?
Like I said, I think you're going to have to, if you're serious about scoring, you're obviously going to have to protect better up front on the offensive line.
Definitely.
And give your quarterback a little bit more time to set up and throw the ball. But I'm probably going to be looking for big number 0, and I'd probably go straight down the middle of the field, right to the goal post.
Well, they stretch him out now. He's a trip to the right side. Dotson, along with Guzman. Last play of the first half. Pass down the field. Got a man open. Makes the catch out of bounds. And it's complete. But that's the end. Knocked out of bounds. That's the end of the first half. And it's halftime. Halftime score. The Mount Pleasant Tigers 16. Whitthorne Tigers 6. And we're in the Murray County Middle School Championship game. 16-6, Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the Whitthorne Tigers. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
This is Tripp Stoltz, owner and manager at Columbia Ace Hardware. We have changed our store hours to better serve our community. Columbia Ace Hardware is now open from 7 to 7 Monday through Friday, from 8 to 4 on Saturday, and closed on Sunday. Come see us at 112 East James Campbell Boulevard and let us show you customer service that can only be found at Columbia Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Is your insurance up to date in today's world? Foster Insurance Agency is an insurance agency you can depend on for your commercial and personal insurance needs. Foster tailors insurance coverage to meet your unique requirements stemming from years of experience and represents several top-rated companies such as Erie Insurance. Call Mike Ford or Jimmy Ford today at 931-388-8365 or stop by their convenient Columbia location at 204 West 4th Street. Foster Insurance, serving Middle Tennessee since 1952.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Ford, Foster Insurance Agency here in downtown Columbia. We've been here since 1952, located at 204 West 4th Street. We specialize in commercial insurance. We write home, auto, and life insurance. We write anything from your bulldozer to your helicopter, from churches to bars. Come see myself, Mike, Shelby, or Nikki. We'll be happy to take care of you. We specialize in service.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Murray County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook.
And welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley. It's halftime. Halftime score. It's Mount Pleasant 16, Whitthorne 6. As they're calling out the all-tournament team for the Whitthorne and Mount Pleasant leading the way as far as players are concerned, but several players as being recognized here at halftime.
Yeah, it's the Murray County Public Schools championship football game here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and we're coming to you live right now from the Marion Will Hoyt press box in the Dan Jane Media Center, right? And we just want people to understand Mount Pleasant's up 16-6, Barry, and the real difference is that odd kickoff return by Mount Pleasant.
It is.
I mean, that's the difference in this ballgame.
And the two-point conversion made it 16-6. It was an 8-6 game. Of course, the touchdown, about 89, 90 yards on the kickoff return.
By Deontay Webster, number 3. After the ball had really come to a complete stop around the 10-yard line, the back receiver receiving the kick picked the ball up, and Deontay Webster kind of ran past him, and the guy looked like he kind of handed it forward to Deontay Webster, and Webster was gone up the sideline for a touchdown.
And Whitthorne players looking at him and thought once he handed it to the back that the play was dead. They, of course, the whistle don't blow, it's not dead. And so they kind of let him run by, and he's got super speed, and he was long gone.
Now, you will see teams where receivers will catch a kickoff, and there'll be another player come from one of the sides of the field around, and they'll either hand the ball off to him, or they'll fake a handoff to him and keep on running with the ball. But it was much different play than that.
It looked like a forward handoff.
And I assume that's legal on kickoffs. I don't know.
You're a former.
I'm a former basketball official.
Oh, okay, basketball. Okay.
I'm not a former football official,
okay.
So I'm not sure. But I'm just saying, it just looked awfully odd. I think, like you said, the Whitthorne Middle School Tigers kind of paused and thought, okay, the ball's dead at this point. We're going to switch over to offense, defense. But here comes number 3,
Deontay Webster says
the thorn in Whitthorne Tigers side. Deontay Webster just bolting up the sideline. He takes the handoff from his teammate, and it's a touchdown. And that's the difference in this ballgame.
He says, if you're not going to stop me, I'm going to run 89 yards and I'm going to score.
You might as well keep going.
And what is troubling, too, for Whitthorne, too, is not only that run, but the two-point conversion. For the second time, Ja'Kai Amos just walks into the end zone on the two-point conversion both times. So that is concerning for the Whitthorne Tigers, and maybe Coach James Dickinson is trying to get that worked out at halftime.
Well, I'm sure he's got a few choice words for his Whitthorne Tigers in the visitors' locker room right now, which he wasn't too happy to begin with to be in there, but he is. And as Mount Pleasant enjoys a 10-point lead at this point.
Deontay Webster got on the scoreboard first on a touchdown run. Two-point conversion was run in by Ja'Kai Amos, made it 8-0 Mount Pleasant. Then Whitthorne got on the scoreboard on a 43-yard pass play to Guzman from Parker, and the two-point conversion was no good. So it was 8-6 at that point. And then the 89-yard run that time on the kickoff to Mount Pleasant, and Mount Pleasant's Deontay Webster takes it to the house, 89 yards for the touchdown. And of course, Amos with the two-point conversion on the run made it 16-6, and that's where we are at halftime.
Yeah.
It's Mount Pleasant 16, Whitthorne 6 at halftime at Lindsey Nelson Stadium here at Murray County Park, Jim Cartwright Field.
Yeah, Whitthorne looking to defend. They're the defending Murray County champions in middle school football. They're defending their title. But you know what? Mount Pleasant is having none of it. Now, they played 2 weeks ago. Mount Pleasant won the ball game of the undefeated teams. They are now, this is the rematch in the Murray County Public Schools Championship middle school football game.
This game is the one that counts.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a Tiger, I guarantee you this, a Tiger is going to win the championship tonight, Barry. What do you think? I guarantee you.
It could be a tiger in the white jersey with the purple numerals, or it could be a tiger in the red uniforms and the blue
exactly
numerals.
Right. But we're going to have a tiger as a champion and a tiger as a runner-up, and we've got 2 more quarters of football, 16 minutes to go in this ball game. And even though Mount Pleasant is up by 10, I've just got this feeling deep in my gut that Coach Dickinson and his squad are going to tighten this game up a little bit in the second half.
And the biggest difference between the teams is Mount Pleasant is a little bit more assertive on the offensive line and the defensive line. They're a little more aggressive and a little more assertive.
I would say in the first half, you're exactly right, Barry. The war in the trenches on both sides of the ball are being won by the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
It's halftime. Halftime score, the Mount Pleasant Tigers 16, the Whitthorne Tigers 6. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Murray County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook. Office space available in beautiful downtown Columbia. Kennedy Broadcasting Company, WKRM and WKOM, has 3 offices for rent in its downtown building. Each office is approximately 18 by 18, and each includes a closet-type storage area. Included are utilities, Wi-Fi, and communal break area. Contact Station Manager Clayton Harris at 931-626-3131.
Are you tired of living with neuropathy? If you're living with pain and numbness in your feet, then you understand that most treatments only target the symptoms of your neuropathy. At the Dr. Gill Center, our customized therapies target the underlying causes of neuropathy, promoting healing and helping to restore function. Are you ready to say goodbye to pain and limitations of neuropathy and hello to a brighter, pain-free future? Call 615-794-0800 and ask about our $49 special. Take the first step. Start living pain-free with Dr. Gill Center. Call me painfree.com.
And welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. It's halftime. The Murray County Middle School Championship game between the Whitthorne Tigers and the Tigers of Mount Pleasant. And the Tigers of Mount Pleasant leading Whitthorne 16-6 at halftime as we get ready for the start of the second half here tonight at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Great crowd on hand here tonight, Drake.
Really, really nice crowd. Like I said, Mount Pleasant being considered the home team tonight for this championship game, as they are seated right below us. And I want to say right now that number is well over 300 people probably on Mount Pleasant's side of the field. And as I look across the stadium, easily 200 on the Whitthorne side and numerous people on the concession stand into the field. So it's been a great turnout, and what a great championship that is made possible by your Murray County Public Schools. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be having this right now. Without the folks downtown office, Chris Pointer, AD, Superintendent Lisa Ventura, without them, a great event like this would not be going on right now. And just hats off to all the folks that made this happen here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium on Championship Tuesday. And we've got I mean, I'm excited about seeing this second half.
Yeah, it should be exciting.
What's going on. They've put a couple more minutes back up on the board, even though it ran down triple zeros. I think the White Hat and his crew decided to give them a couple more minutes of warm-up here at halftime. And we've just got about a little over a minute to go before we kick this ball off, start the second half.
You left one thing out, Drake, that you forgot, that you omitted.
What's that?
It's a beautiful night, a perfect night for football.
It is gorgeous. I mean, any night I can come up now after a hot summer, and any night we can open up the windows here at the Marion Wilhoit press box and let the air come in and not break a sweat. It's a gorgeous night in Middle Tennessee.
Without a doubt. Mount Pleasant had their warm-up, and they're at the sidelines. Whitthorne at their sidelines after their warm-up. We're just about ready to get the second half underway. In case you just joined us, it's Mount Pleasant leading at halftime by the score of 16-6. And what will Whitthorne have to do other than the obvious to get back in this ball game and win this game, this championship game?
I think they're going to have to start working on the initial point of contact, and that is your offensive line needs to block better for your quarterback, and your defensive line needs to stabilize that line and let your linebackers come in, fill those gaps, and tackle those terrific running backs, Ja'Kai Amos, number 19, the quarterback for Mount Pleasant, and, of course, number 3, Deontay Webster, who is not only fast, but he's strong for a middle school football running back. He is fast and strong and tough to bring down. And I tell you what else you got to do on defense, Barry. You can't arm tackle. You got to wrap those guys up. You've got to put your arms around them. You got to hold them in their spot and wait for your fellow teammate to get to them and help you take them to the ground. As Deontay Webster and Ja'Kai Amos goes, Mount Pleasant goes, and they've been very successful in the first half. Here's another onside kick. If I catch this ball, I'm not dropping the ground. I'm running with it. Luke Bobs with the onside kick. Taken by the up back, falls down with it at the 45 of Whitthorne. So Whitthorne would have possession of the football, 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line to get the second half underway. Well, the man of the first half was number 7, Jason Guzman. I mean, he was tackling on defense for losses. He was catching the ball at the wide receiver position. Has Whitthorne's only touchdown under his belt tonight. And Guzman has pretty good size. Yeah. Watching Whitthorne warm up as I was walking in, I thought it was a high school team for a second. They got some pretty good sized players. Well, he and Dodson are close to the same size. Hand off to the back, hit it at the backfield, fighting forward for a couple of yards and then thrown back. Trey Johnson, number 3. Javante Johnson with the carry. Got a few yards on the play. Got to spot him at the 48-yard line. Second down and 8 for the Tigers of Whitthorne. Coached by James Dickinson. Mount Pleasant is coached by Corey Pickett. Trey Johnson had a helmet cap on. I believe they call it a concussion cap or a helmet cap. And it came off on that last tackle on that last run, so he had to take that off and throw it over the sidelines. Second down, 8 for Whitthorne. Johnson in motion. Handoff Johnson. Johnson knifes his way forward for a couple of yards and is hammered down by Mount Pleasant. And making the tackle that time for Mount Pleasant. I couldn't catch that number. Barry, I would help you out with that. I can see half the number. I couldn't see the other half. Made an outstanding tackle. Well, that's Trey Johnson. Both back-to-back runs to the left side by Trey Johnson of Whitthorne. So that leaves them with a 3rd and 8.5, 8 to go. Yeah, about a 3rd down, 8. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line of Whitthorne. Quarterback keeper fighting his way forward. Gets it to midfield and is hammered down. Little disruption in the backfield. Yeah. Quarterback comes up with it. Nice tackle by Jackson Parker comes up with it and runs it to midfield. Now they're looking at 4th down. Tackle by who? Number 50, Micah Evans, one of the down defensive linemen on the right-hand side of that strong Mount Pleasant Tiger defensive line. Micah Evans, number 50. Looks like the drone ran out of batteries and they had to retrieve it, so. Landed back at the 20. That's all for the drone tonight, folks. 4th down and 6. Columbia to punt it away. White, with a soccer-style kick. Goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, so not one of his better kicks. He's an outstanding kicker, though.
So Mount Pleasant will have the football 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line, leading 16-6.
It will be interesting to see what adjustments Coach Dickinson and his staff have made at halftime concerning the running game of Mount Pleasant. And of course, it's nothing they haven't seen before. They saw it 2 weeks ago. They have addressed the problem, and they're playing better against it tonight than they did 2 weeks ago, but they still find themselves down by 10.
Amos hands off to Webster. Webster stiff arm, goes around the right side, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and run out of bounds for a substantial gain and close to a first down.
Yeah, the Mount Pleasant, the Whitthorne.
Now they said he went out of bounds at the 41, so
the
about a
Whitthorne
6-yard pickup.
Looked like Trey Johnson there had a hand on him in the backfield. He just couldn't pull him down. It's like what I talked about earlier with Deontay Webster. He is not only is fast, but he's strong and hard to pull to the ground.
And very determined. Quarterback keeper, Amos. Amos to the 40, to the 45, up to midfield and just beyond. They're going to spot him at the 47-yard line of Whitthorne.
Tell you what Zakai Amos, the quarterback from Mount Pleasant, has. He has good vision. You can tell when he runs the ball up the middle of the line. When he runs north and south and into the line, in the middle of the defensive line, he's got his eyes up and he's looking for that next hole.
Gets enough for the first down, 1st and 10. Zakai Amos with the carry. Falls forward for a couple of yards. That time knocked down by Whitthorne.
Jason Guzman on the tackle.
Guzman on the tackle. Tyshawn Dotson in the area. Looking at 2nd down 7 for Mount Pleasant.
Whitthorne needs to stiffen up defensively right here. Really need to keep Mount Pleasant out of the threat zone, which I would say 35-yard and closer, 35-yard line and closer.
Got Cream in motion. Loses the handle, grabs it back, turns the corner, still running. Has the first down and more. Rambles to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, and knocked out of bounds just beyond the 30-yard line. What looked like a bad play turned into a great play for Whitthorne.
Yeah, fumbled handoff to number 24 for Mount Pleasant.
Wesley Krim,
and he dropped it on the ground. The ball actually was going backwards. Krim went over to pick it up. It bounced right in his hands and off around the end he went and got the first down, and everything's just fine.
Ball spotted at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant.
And this is kind of the danger zone right here, 35 and closer.
Quarterback keeper, to the pitch, straight pitch to the back. Rambles his way across the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Wildcat to Webster, and Webster moves the chains for Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
Ball spotted at the 29, pick up a 4, 2nd down 6. Mount Pleasant.
If you're Whitthorne, you're looking at each other and say, okay, who's going to make a defensive stop here?
Hand off Webster. Webster walks his way down the line, gets the first down and more, pushes the pile.
Still going.
Close to the 15-yard line.
What a run. And he just, as I said, Webster's strength and balance just carries players down the field. He dragged probably 4 Whitthorne defenders 4 or 5 extra yards past the initial point of contact.
Deonta Webster, but give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They had a great push that time, and he just follows his line and steps right up. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant.
Hey, every good running back, Barry, has a great offensive line. Would you agree with that? I mean,
100%.
I mean, every good running back has a great offensive line.
100%. And that time he did a good job following that good offensive line for the first down. And Webster's not really a big player. He's strong, he's quick, he's determined, but he's not really a big running back.
No, I mean he's not a bruiser by any means. He's got some speed. He's got some strength. He's got what you probably want. He's got a little bit of everything when it comes to a running back. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He's got what Johnny Majors used to call the body lean. He got a good body lean. And,
that's right. He's always kind of moving forward. You know, you rarely see a negative play out of Webster because he's out over the top of his skis, so to speak, when he's running the ball.
And great vision.
Yeah.
Got a full house backfield for Mount Pleasant. Amos is your quarterback. Handoff Webster. Follows his blocking. This time he's hit.
Nice tackle.
In the backfield.
Good solid tackle by number 6, Khalil Hardison for Whitthorne right there.
And wrapped up by Preston Kirkland.
That's how you hit the running back. If he slides through, you wrap him up at the ankles and hold on to him.
Actually might have lost a yard on that play. Ball spotted just shy of the 15-yard line of Whitthorne. Going to bring up 2nd down 9 for the Tigers of Mount Pleasant. Snap goes to Webster. Webster with the pass, and it is caught for the touchdown.
Wesley Krim, number 24 for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And Deonta Webster with the pass, floats it between 2 Whitthorne players to Krim, and Webster not only runs the touchdowns in, but he passes them also. Deonta Webster.
Just looked kind of like a miniature punt. Got a lot of air underneath it, a lot of arc. And Krim just turned around the end zone, caught it, and fell back on his rear end in the end zone, so it's a touchdown.
Hand off to the quarterback, rambles his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and Ja'Kai Amos runs it in for the 2-point conversion, and Whitthorne's on top. Check that, Mount Pleasant on top of Whitthorne, 24-6. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Mount Pleasant 24, Columbia 6. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
And I'm Michael Parks Lawrence at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
Together, we're Mr. Bobby Parks' grandsons, and we run his dealership, and we are glad to be part of our local community.
Being family owned and operated, we invest heavily in our community.
We do things like sports teams, schools, bands, you name it. We try to help everybody we can.
The reason why we do this is because we all love this community.
So come do business with us, your neighbors, at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee, right off Nashville Highway, or at parksmotorsales.com.
Back at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley. 2 minutes, 41 seconds remain in the third quarter, and it's been all Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant leading Whitthorne 24-6.
That is not what Coach Dickinson and the Whitthorne Tigers needed.
Luke Mobbs with the onside kick, and they blow it dead. Yeah, Mount Pleasant called for the false start, so they'll back them up 5 yards and kick it again. Trying that onside kick, and you're right, I'd like to know the history behind kicking the onside kick.
Well, there's got to be some underlying reason why they don't kick it deep at all. And, I mean, as hard as he's kicking the ball, it seems as though he could kick it straight ahead, and if it got past the first line of defense, it would roll well back here to the 30-yard line. Do you see what I mean? I mean,
exactly.
If he just did that, if he just kicked it the way he's kicking it, as hard as he kicks it, just kick it straight ahead. But, hey, Coach Pickett knows better than I do.
Luke Mobbs with the kick. Taken by the up back. He catches it this time. He rambles to 45, still running, giving ground, loses the football, picks it back up, and recovers it at about the Mount Pleasant 48-yard line. And that's Austin Taylor. Taylor had a seam.
Just for a second, I thought he had a little opening on.
Then he reversed ground, and then he dropped the football.
Yeah,
but he got it back.
You got to have the football, right? I mean, that's one thing you need in this game if you plan on scoring.
They mark his forward progress at the 46. So Whitthorne with decent field position.
2.5 minutes to go in the third, Barry. We need to, not we, but if you're Whitthorne, you need to figure out a way to get through this Mount Pleasant defense.
Whitthorne in the Wildcat to Johnson. Johnson turns the corner. Johnson trying to get to the first down marker. He gets there and knocked out of bounds, and he gets a first down out of it. Whitthorne's Trevante Johnson on the Wildcat.
Yeah.
Takes it down the left side and gets the first down.
Coach Dickinson and his offensive coordinators are taking a play out of Mount.
Don't see a flag, but they call it legal procedure against Whitthorne, so that play is coming back.
Oh, well.
That was a momentum builder for Whitthorne, but it's coming back.
First down and 15.
Their legal procedure against Whitthorne, that is coming back. Johnson's a little upset.
As I was saying, Coach Dickinson and his coaches decided we're just going to borrow a play from Mount Pleasant and go to our Wildcat with our number 3, who is Trevante Johnson.
Johnson again on the Wildcat at the 49. Tries to get to the corner and knocked down hard. Great tackle that time by Webster. Deontay Webster with a hit, a big-time hit. And there's a player down.
Is it Webster on the sideline? Could be Webster. That was a violent tackle by Webster. He turned his counterpart, number 3, Trevante Johnson, turned him right there at the 50-yard line and
3-on-3.
Stuck him in the sidelines, out of bounds. That looks like they're tending to Deontay Webster on the sideline. Let's hope he's all right.
It was a vicious lick by Webster. Big-time aggressive hit. There's an official timeout, an injury timeout on the field with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third quarter. With the score, Mount Pleasant 24, Whitthorne 6. We'll be back right after this.
Do you want to be a bad man? Yes, you do. Do you want to taste sweet salvation underneath the summer moon? Do you need another hand now? Yes, you do. Go see Miss Josie down on Columbus Avenue. All right, Columbus Avenue.
Injured Mount Pleasant player still down. Whitthorne comes back on the field.
Well, they've got Deontay Wade. He's on the sideline, Mount Pleasant sideline. They've got his legs up in the air, looks like, and pushing on the ball of his feet as he's laying on his back. So I'm thinking it's some type of cramping situation, Barry, is what I'm coming up with. But, I mean, who knows at this point. But
and you may be right.
You see how they're kind of pushing on that leg to get those muscles loosened up, calves and hamstrings.
Teammate drags him.
Big number 70 is just dragging him over the side. I mean, but if you're a player like Deontay Webster, playing both directions and excelling on both sides of the ball,
big time,
your body's going to react at some point, right?
Right. It looked like they're stretching him out, so it may be a cramp. So I think he's going to be okay. Second down, 12. Whitthorne back in the shotgun to Johnson. Johnson gets the snap, wasn't ready for it. Rambles, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and gets close to the line of scrimmage. He was anticipating the snap, and he caught it anyway. And gets it to they mark him short of the line of scrimmage.
Well, at this point in the game, Whitthorne really needs to pull something out of the hat to try to get this first down. I'm sure Coach Dickinson might be in four-down territory, might be thinking four-down territory right here, Barry, trying to get maybe 5, 6, 7 yards and then be able to have a manageable play on fourth down.
Third down, 12. Ball at the Mount Pleasant 48. Parker tries to hit the wide receiver streaking across the middle. Too hot, incomplete. Tried to hit Jakari Owens, incomplete. And looking at fourth down, 12, and I think Whitthorne's going for it. 1 minute, 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Whitthorne trailing. Mount Pleasant leading 24-6. Fourth down, 12. Whitthorne going for it.
I would say Tyshawn.
Low snap. Parker heaves it downfield. Almost intercepted and goes incomplete. And Mount Pleasant will take over on downs with a minute 12 left in the third quarter. Almost intercepted that time.
Yeah, there's a defender behind the receiver, and just as the ball got to the receiver, another defender shot in front of him and had an opportunity to intercept it, but just couldn't hang on. But probably even better for Mount Pleasant because they get the ball at their own 48-yard line instead of back maybe around their 35.
Exactly. Got to give Mount Pleasant's defense a lot of credit tonight. Snap to the quarterback, Amos. Amos rambles his way across midfield and knocked down at about the Whitthorne 47-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, Amos, the two great runners for Mount Pleasant do. They wait on their blocks. They're patient enough to wait for the blocks to set up and then pick their way around those blocks and make as much yardage as possible on those running plays through the middle of the defense.
They do. They have a lot of faith in their offensive line, and they patiently make good runs up the middle. Amos, your quarterback. Hand up to the back, fighting his way inside. Great tackle that time by Whitthorne.
Jakari Owens.
Jakari Owens makes a big hit. Big time tackle for Whitthorne Tigers, Jakari Owens. Third down, 5. No gain, a very short gain on the play thanks to Mr. Owens. Nice decisive hit for Whitthorne. 3rd and 5, big play here. And that's the end of the third quarter. They don't get the playoff. That's the end of the third quarter. But the score, Mount Pleasant 24, Whitthorne 6. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Matt Perales, manager of Murray County Equipment. We help you with all your agriculture and construction equipment needs. We carry a full line of New Holland tractors from compacts to high horsepower. We have a full line of Gravely mowing equipment. We also have New Holland construction equipment, attachments, and accessories for your tractors and a complete parts department. We are locally owned and operated. Come see us at 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard or learn about us on Facebook or contact us at 931-490-8183.
I'm Justin George.
I'm Corey Muehlbauer.
Together, we are Columbia Motor Company.
Columbia Motor Company offers quality pre-owned vehicles at an affordable price along with many financing options to keep you in your budget.
We are veteran and locally owned. We are located just off of Carmack Boulevard in downtown Columbia. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram or visit our website at columbiamotorcompany.com.
If you want a different and enjoyable car buying experience, please give us the opportunity here at Columbia Motor Company.
Welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, site of the Murray County Middle School Championship game. Mount Pleasant with the football.
And there goes,
they give it off to
there goes Amos.
Amos off to the races. Amos is chased down inside the 10-yard line, and Amos off to the races for a big run that time.
Looks like Trey Johnson, who made the tackle at the 3-yard line on Amos, is down.
Trey Johnson chases him down and makes the tackle and is down on the play for the Whitthorne Tigers. Great run that time by Jakari Amos.
Yeah, just like we've been talking about, right through the middle of the Whitthorne defense as Amos just kind of picks his way and then saw daylight, maybe 10 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and he was off to the races.
Jakari Amos showing a flash of speed, and touchdown saving tackle that time by Trevante Johnson. Johnson still down for the Whitthorne Tigers. Beautiful night for football here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. site of the Maury County Middle School Championship game. Of course, the Mount Pleasant Tigers winning 2 weeks ago over Whitthorne, 28-16. Right now they lead Whitthorne 24-6. Johnson still down. We'll take an injury timeout, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
Hello, I'm Rick Whitley.
And I'm Daniel Pollard from Jones & Lang Sporting Goods. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the many years of support. Since 1966, Jones & Lang has been locally owned and operated and supplying teams from T-ball to college. Stop by and see what we can do for you. We offer a wide variety of services from silk screening and embroidery to our custom trophy and awards department.
We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. Remember, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Back at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley. Engineer tonight, P Money, doing a great job. 7 minutes, 52 seconds left in the ball game as Johnson walks off the field under his own power with a little help. But he made a touchdown saving tackle that time on the dangerous Jakari Amos.
Yeah, Jakari Amos is tall, lean, long legs, can obviously run fast, picks his way through the defensive line. And like I said, 10 yards down the field, it just opened up and he was off to the races. And the only person that could catch him for Whitthorne was Trey Johnson.
Had an opportunity to talk to Jakari doing the middle school jamboree. Outstanding young man and a really good athlete. Full house backfield, Mount Pleasant. Amos, quarterback keeper at the 5, at the 4, into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Jakari Webster takes it in for the touchdown. And the Mount Pleasant Tigers rolling. Mount Pleasant with the score, Jakari Amos with a touchdown. Inside the 5-yard line, punches it in for 6. Now they go for the 2-point conversion. Not much resistance up front that time for the Tigers.
Hats off to.
This time going for the 2-point conversion is Amos. Amos is run down. A lot of resistance this time by the Mount Pleasant Tigers. And a big-time tackle by Columbia. Trying to get that young man's number as he's running off the field. But a great defensive play that time by Whitthorne to stop the 2-point conversion. 7 minutes, 38 seconds left in the ball game. It's Mount Pleasant 30, Whitthorne 6. Back right after this.
Hello, I'm Rick Whitley.
And I'm Daniel Pollard from Jones & Lang Sporting Goods. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the many years of support. Since 1966, Jones & Lang has been locally owned and operated and supplying teams from T-ball to college. Stop by and see what we can do for you. We offer a wide variety of services from silk screening and embroidery to our custom trophy and awards department.
We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. Remember, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Mount Pleasant on top of Whitthorne by the score of 30-6. Mount Pleasant with an offensive explosion tonight against the Whitthorne Tigers.
Yeah, and I think it's just basically the fact that Whitthorne hasn't been able to do anything offensively, and their defense has had to stay on the field for most of this game so far. And eventually your defense just gets worn down. And give credit to Mount Pleasant's defense. The reason that Whitthorne is not successful at offense is because of the great defense by Mount Pleasant.
Luke Mobbs with the onside kick, taken by the up back for the Whitthorne Tigers at about the 47-yard line, about the 46.
Jaden Hughes on the recovery, on the cover-up, on the onside kick for Whitthorne.
So Whitthorne, 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. And they mark it at the 47. 1st and 10 at the Whitthorne 47-yard line for the Whitthorne Tigers. 7 minutes and 36 seconds remain in the ball game. Mount Pleasant on top by the score of 30-6.
Well, Whitthorne fans would love to see Whitthorne mount a touchdown drive here.
Hand off to the back, hit in the backfield by Amos. Falls forward for a couple of yards on the play. Khalil Hardison with the carry. Tackled by Amos. Got to mark him at about the
45.5-yard line of Whitthorne. And you know, the Mount Pleasant defense is not allowing, they're containing on the ends, Barry. They're not allowing Whitthorne to get out around those ends and make those big jet sweep type of plays.
Intercepted. Mount Pleasant going to run it back. Now he's hit inside the 15-yard line. Good thing about the press box and the open window, a bug just flew by. Landon Everly with the interception.
Yep, the pass.
For Mount Pleasant.
Quarterback for Whitthorne just took a few steps, dropped back, fired it over to the right-hand side, threw it right to Everly. Everly back down the sidelines. Mount Pleasant in business at the 13-yard line of the Tigers.
Everly almost takes it to the house. 1st and 10, Mount Pleasant at the Whitthorne 14-yard line. Full house backfield, handoff to the back, trying to turn the corner. That's Webster. Webster fights his way for just a couple of yards on the play. Tackle that time by Jackson Krim for the Whitthorne Tigers. 6 minutes, 25 seconds remain. Mount Pleasant knocking on the door again. They send Webster wide to the left side. Amos, quarterback keeper. Amos steps around, fights his way to the 5, still fighting into the end zone. Touchdown. Jakari Webster.
Touchdown, Mount Pleasant Tigers.
Webster, check that Jakai Amos with the quarterback keeper, punches it into the end zone for the touchdown. Jakai Amos, quarterback keeper.
2-point conversion to come. I don't see why he would even hand it off unless he wants to give Webster a run.
Amos has been successful on the 2-point conversion all night. This time he hands it off to Webster. Goes the wide way around the right side, walks into the end zone for the touchdown. This time Dante Webster with a 2-point conversion. And Mount Pleasant leading Whitthorne 38-6 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the ball game. Great play that time by Mount Pleasant. And the carry, Deonta Webster and Jakai Amos punching it in.
Yeah, those are the two key players. You know how on NFL teams, Barry, if people watch NFL, there are the star players. How do you win ball games in the NFL? You get the ball in the hands of your star players. And as far as the Mount Pleasant Tigers go, number 19, Jakai Owens, right? Jakai Owens, and number 3, Deontay Webster. They are your star players. And those are the guys that Jakai Amos and Deontay Webster. Those are your 2 star players. And guess what? They're the ones doing most of the damage tonight.
Very productive, but you have to give great credit to the offensive line.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because they can run. They're running
and defensive line
comfortably.
Too.
Exactly. Mount Pleasant with the onside kick again, taken by the up back for Whitthorne. Making the catch is Chavez Sharp. And Whitthorne in business at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10. See how much fight Whitthorne has with 3:50 left in the game. Ball spotted at the Whitthorne 49-yard line.
And as I said before, just before Whitthorne threw the interception, they'd like to put the ball in the end zone right here. End on a good note. End your season on a good note.
Handoff for a yard, and Mount Pleasant defensive line also doing a great job for the Tigers. On the bottom of the pile for Mount Pleasant is Jordan Thompson. Jakari Owens with the carry for Whitthorne. Gets the ball to about midfield. Pickup of a yard on the play. A lot of clean jerseys in there now for Whitthorne. Jackson Parker's your quarterback. Hands off to Whitthorne's Khalil Hardison. Hardison for back to the line of scrimmage, maybe half yard.
Yeah, nothing fancy here by Whitthorne and Coach Dickinson and his staff. I think they've pretty much relinquished this ball game to the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
3rd down and 8. Give them credit for a yard on the play. 3rd and 8 with 2:25 remaining in the ball game. 38-6 is the score. The all-tournament team will sting around for the trophy presentations, and the all-tournament team here when the game is over. We'll have that on the air. Parker with the snap, gets it up to the back, got some running room to the 45, down to the 40-yard line. Great carry that time by Whitthorne.
Jakari Owens, one of the better runs of the night.
Jakari Owens, a 7th grader. 1st down, Whitthorne. Great run that time by Jakari Owens for the Whitthorne Tigers. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. And a good job that time by the Whitthorne offensive line that time. Jackson Parker, your quarterback. Handoff Owens. Owens hit in the backfield. Still fighting and knocked down for a big loss on the play. That time they shot the gap, and Owens didn't have a chance.
Yeah, for Luke Mobbs, number 21, in on the tackle.
A loss of 2 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Whitthorne Tigers. Clock down to a minute. 2nd down, 12 for Whitthorne. Hand off to the back. Gives it off to Tyshawn Dotson. Dotson hit in the backfield for a loss on the play. Got to bring up 4th down.
As the tackle was made by the quarterback, Jakai Amos came up and took big Tyshawn Dotson to the ground.
Amos is going to be a special player in the future for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Going to let the clock run down 25 seconds.
And just from his build, I'm guessing he's probably some type of basketball player, too.
I would think so, too. Yeah. Tall, rangy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hadn't hit his growth spurt yet.
No.
Whitthorne's going to run one more play.
His mother and father can't probably feed him enough.
Pitch
kids these
to the back. Hardison running around the right side, no gain. Knocked down to midfield, and that's your ball game. Mount Pleasant Tigers winning. Tigers are the champion. Mount Pleasant Tigers are the champions as they defeat Whitthorne by the score of 38-6. Mount Pleasant 38, Whitthorne 6. And Mount Pleasant fans are excited. Mount Pleasant players are excited as they defeat Whitthorne by the score of 38-6 to win the Maury County Middle School Championship game.
Well deserved by the Mount Pleasant Tigers. They played a great game on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and as we said, Barry, it was besides the skilled players and the play of Jakai Amos and Deontay Webster, it was the offensive line and the defensive lines that just did a tremendous job for Mount Pleasant tonight.
Outstanding. You have to give, like I said, a gold star to the offensive and defensive line for Mount Pleasant. And, of course, Webster and Amos, outstanding job for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And
Final
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say on Whitthorne's side, just one comment. They just never could get in a rhythm offensively. Mount Pleasant's defense was too disruptive. Whether it was a pass in the backfield, or if they tried to go around the end with some type of sweep, Mount Pleasant stayed at home. They were fundamentally sound, and they did their job on defense. And Whitthorne could never get in a rhythm.
And you have to give great credit to the Mount Pleasant coaching staff, the Mount Pleasant fans for coming out, and also great credit for the players for the Mount Pleasant Tigers as they come out with a 38-6 win over the previous middle school county champions last year.
Yeah, the defending champs.
The reigning champions. And Mount Pleasant wins that tonight as they win the championship game here at the Murray County Middle School Championship game here in Columbia at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Mount Pleasant winning by the score of 38-6 over the Whitthorne Tigers. Stay around. We're going to name the all-tournament team, the all-team, and the trophy presentation coming up in just a few minutes here at Murray County Stadium, Lindsey Nelson Stadium here in Columbia. That coming up in just a few minutes. Halftime, it was Mount Pleasant leading 16-6. At the end of three quarters, Mount Pleasant leading 24-6. And got a couple of big plays in the fourth quarter. Mount Pleasant winning over Whitthorne by the score of 38-6 tonight. So we get ready for the trophy presentation here in the Murray County Middle School Championship game.
Big night for these kids, big night for the cheerleaders, the football players, the student body of both of these schools, Mount Pleasant and Whitthorne, and hats off to the Murray County Public School Systems. Athletic Director Chris Pointer for having the vision and putting all this together. Roughly 4 years in the making now. This has been an idea to have a Murray County Public School Middle School Conference and be able to play each other so that fans, families, student bodies, you don't have to travel an hour, 45 minutes to go play a team in a ball game and then come back home and go to school the next day. We can play teams inside Murray County. We can play the Spring Hills. We can play the Mount Pleasant. We can play E.A. Cox. We can, and Whitthorne, and they can play each other and have a competitive season. And then at the end of the season, you can have a game like this on Championship Tuesday and crown a middle school champion, just like the Mount Pleasant Tigers middle school team tonight is about to accept the big gold football trophy, and I know they're super excited to do that.
Exactly. And the winner is the Mount Pleasant Tigers tonight as they defeat the Whitthorne Tigers by the score of 38-6 here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Outstanding crowd tonight, outstanding weather, and it's been a great night for football. And as you said before the game, that a Tiger is going to win this game.
A Tiger is definitely going to be crowned champion of the Murray County Public School Middle School Football Conference tonight. And I know the Whitthorne Middle Schools and Coach Dickinson and his staff are disappointed. But, it's hard to stay on top. It's hard to be the king of the mountain forever, Barry. You know
exactly.
What I mean, there's always – think about being king of the mountain and being on top is there are always a lot of people trying to knock you off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And eventually somebody's going to get through. Eventually somebody's going to improve their program enough, going to have enough athletes to compete and conquer. And that's basically what Mount Pleasant has accomplished this year. Congratulations to them and Coach Corey Pickett.
Hats off, as you said, to the Mount Pleasant Tigers winning the Murray County Middle School Championship. Outstanding job Offensive, defensive line was outstanding. Skill players were outstanding tonight as they defeat Whitthorne 38-6 tonight. The Whitthorne Tigers, coached by James Dickinson, will receive the runners-up trophy. As they gather and go out, and the trophy is presented to the Whitthorne Tigers. Finishing second, tonight. And the Mount Pleasant Tigers and their fans buzzing with excitement with the next announcement here.
Oh, yeah. Bunch of proud papas and proud mamas out there. As well they should be.
The 2024 Murray County Football Conference champions, the Tigers of Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant Tigers, led by Coach Corey Picketts, receives the trophy. Mount Pleasant Tigers are the champions of the 2024 season of the Murray County Public School Championship.
A well-deserved trophy. Congratulations to Coach Pickett and all his staff, everybody involved with that Mount Pleasant Middle School team, Principal Coach Kevin Eady, everyone involved. It's just shows you how special sports are and how much they mean to people here in this part of the country and really all over the nation. And there's something these boys and girls will remember, and parents, everybody involved in both schools will remember for the rest of their lives.
They will.
And that's important. Great memories are important. And
at this time, we would like to announce the 2024 All-Tournament team.
They're going to announce the all-middle school tournament team. As the Mount Pleasant Tigers are crowned champions.
From Spring Hill, Keone McGowan.
Spring Hill, Keone McGowan on the all-tournament team.
Spring Hill, Emilio Arcega.
Spring Hill gets his pennant around his neck. Jeffrey Bassam, the all-tournament team. Basham. Columbia Academy, Graham Butcher.
From Whitthorne, Trey Johnson.
For Whitthorne Middle School, Trevante Johnson.
Whitthorne,
Jason Guzman on the all-tournament team for the Whitthorne Tigers.
Whitthorne, Khalil Hardison.
From Whitthorne, Khalil Hardison.
And from the Tigers of Mount Pleasant,
Landon Everly making the all-tournament team for Mount Pleasant. Micah Evans from Mount Pleasant Tigers. Barrett Robinette. One of those offensive, defensive linemen that did an outstanding job for Mount Pleasant. Also Wesley Krim for Mount Pleasant. MVP. Jakaya Amos, the most valuable player for the Mount Pleasant Tigers, named to the most valuable player to the all-tournament team. Also from Mount Pleasant, Cullen Howell. Everybody's waiting for number 3 for the Tigers.
Well, I tell you, I don't see Deontay in that lineup out there, but if he was left out, how about you and I give him an all-tournament team mention, shout out, because
exactly,
I'm not sure what Mount Pleasant would be or where they would be this year without Deontay Webster, number 3.
Exactly.
So
co most valuable player. Wow.
Hey, Ja'Kai Owens is a terrific player in his own right. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to tell you right here, without number 3, Deontay Webster, the Mount Pleasant Tigers are not the team that they were this year.
Outstanding player for the Mount Pleasant Tigers, as you mentioned.
The most valuable player is number 19, Ja'Kai Owens, the quarterback.
Yeah, Ja'Kai Amos.
Oh, excuse me. I keep saying Owens. It's Amos. I'm sorry. Jakari Owens is a player for Whitthorne.
Yeah,
I'm getting them mixed up. But hey, no matter what, they're all on that championship team.
That's
they're
right.
all won, and they all earned a little piece of that hardware, that golden football that they're holding up right now. And I'm sure it'll look beautiful in their trophy case back at Mount Pleasant Middle School and in front of that whole student body when they present them and that student body with that trophy in the coming weeks.
Well, they crowned the champions of the Maury County Middle School Championship game, the Mount Pleasant Tigers, coached by Corey Pickett.
Fine job by Coach Pickett and his team and group of assistants. I know they work hard all year round. Coaches of every sport rarely take a day off that they're not thinking about their team, the upcoming season, or what happened last season and way to improve. And their testament is tonight as the Mount Pleasant Tigers hoist the gold football for 2024 as they are crowned the champions of the Maury County Public School Middle School Football Champions.
And the champions of the Maury County Middle School Championship game is wearing red and blue and white tonight, the Mount Pleasant Tigers, as the Tigers prevail over the Whitthorne Tigers. Mount Pleasant Tigers 38, Whitthorne 6. Championship goes to the Mount Pleasant Tigers. So congratulations to the Mount Pleasant Tigers on their win tonight over the Whitthorne Tigers here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Well, we got football action coming up Friday night from Spring Hill as the Columbia Central Lions take on Spring Hill at Spring Hill. And the final score here tonight, the championship game, the Maury County Middle School Championship game between the Mount Pleasant Tigers and the Whitthorne Tigers. And Mount Pleasant Tigers victorious. They win the championship. Congratulations to the Mount Pleasant Tigers Middle School. For Front Porch Radio Network Sports, I'm Barry Duke along with Drake Colley and P. Money saying good night. See you next time.